eyes were on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Barack Obama last night. The two leaders sat down for a state dinner at the White House yesterday. With more, we're joined by Rob Gillies. He's the Associated Press bureau chief in Canada. And Rob, you flew down to Washington with Prime Minister Trudeau. Tell us, what were your impressions so far of this visit?
Well, I mean, Trudeau has a cachet with Americans unlike any other recent Canadian prime minister, really not seen since his father was in power and dominated Canadian politics years ago. So this was a much anticipated visit, and I can tell you the Obama administration is very, very impressed with Trudeau, and one could say that many of them see him as kind of an heir to Obama. So as Obama shortly leaves, Trudeau starts out on the world stage. So they're two very like-minded, progressive, liberal leaders, and he certainly made a splash here the last few days.
It has been almost 20 years since a Canadian leader did get a state dinner in Washington at the White House. What do you think has changed now? Why was this the right time for this to happen?
Relations had cooled under Stephen Harper, the previous prime minister, a conservative, over the Keystone XL pipeline that Obama rejected last year. The U.S. ambassador couldn't get a meeting with Harper's cabinet or Harper himself for months at a time. So this is a real reset and a chance to reset the U.S.-Canadian relationship. And Trudeau and Obama are very much like-minded, progressive leaders who share the same values. So this was an opportune time for them to do the dinner.
It just seems, politics aside, they seem to get along really well, whether it's Justin and the president or Sophie Trudeau and the First Lady. Is that your sense, too, that they just really get along on a personal level?
I do. Michelle Obama said Sophie was her soulmate yesterday. And I think Obama sees himself in a young Trudeau. Both were elected at young ages, both with young families. Both are liberals. It was interesting last night at the state dinner during the toast. Trudeau paid tribute to Barack Obama's daughters, who grew up in the spotlight as Trudeau did. And that was a poignant moment, and I think the Obamas quite appreciated that.
Rob, one last question for you. Where do you think this relationship goes from here?
Well, Obama's not in office too much longer, so we'll see who the next prime minister is. But certainly relations, I think, between Canada and the United States are much improved since Trudeau was elected. And the Canadian-U.S. relationship will always be strong, no matter who's prime minister, including Stephen Harper. But I think there's an opportunity here to get more things done and lessen the impact of certain trade irritants.
All right, thank you so much, Rob. That's Rob Gillies. He's the bureau chief for the Associated Press in Canada, and he joined us from Washington, D.C.